package your products in a way that will be wonderful. Services focus mainly on things that are not very tangible. Services focuses on things that are not very tangible. So packaging is very, very important in this particular way. Another aspect of packaging is customization. You must learn to customize services to meet the specific needs of each customer. The day of general services are long gone, where you just offer general services, general contractor, general this. People are looking for services that are tailored to their individual needs, products that are tailored to their needs. So you must be able to package them in such a wonderful way. And so you ask yourself, what is my current brand name? Because under packaging is also branding. What is my brand name? Can people pronounce my brand name well? It's possible to have a brand name only you can pronounce well. A brand name must be simple and short. It is recommended that it should not be more than 3 syllables. Emeka Chuku Kozie something something and Sons Nigeria Enterprise Limited is no longer fashionable. Because if you look through all the global brands, it's not as if there are no sons and daughters who own them. But you must keep all of that outside of the brand name so that somebody buys Coca-Cola, Google, Samsung, LG, Apple. Name all the global brands. You won't find any that has more than 3 characters. And they are owned from different countries, Germany, French, US, different places. But you see that people are able to pronounce them easily. So that's one of the things that your brand name must stand out. So no matter how much it was revealed to you spiritually, don't give a brand name Mehi Boshe or something because you saw a chapter in the scripture. You know, people are very spiritual. And then all of a sudden you call that place Rehoboth something, 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 you know, all because there was one name you saw in the book of Deuteronomy and you mix it up with another name from Galatians. No. However you took it from, maybe you can take 2 letters. You and God, you know that it is the very prophetic. So don't over-spiritualize. I see those who over-spiritualize and have names that only them. I mean, it is like your own name. How many times do you call your own name? Your name is not meant for you. Your name is meant for other people. So it should be easy to pronounce. So people may not patronize you because of your name. Because what does the person tell that keke man? Where is he going to? Where are you dropping me at? And then there are also foreign names that we bring into our fashion that affects the local market. You see, you have one tailoring place at a junction, somewhere in the outskirts of town. Instead of give that place something, whether tailoring or colors. So if you have a school, the colors of your school must be inviting. But you cannot use that same color, yellow, for some other things that need serious branding. So imagine you have a letterhead for a serious business and I see yellow there. I'll be thinking, is there anything wrong? Or pink, and it's not feminine. You are not selling female stuff. You are a serious organization. You will need some explanation to be able to fit in some colors. And then there are generally acceptable colors. The most popular color in the world is blue. It has been adjudged to be the most acceptable color. You can Google it. Blue is the most transgender. Let me use that word. It spreads across gender, across age, and different things. You can use white, depending on what message you are trying to pass. So you must take note of the brand name. You must take note of your brand color. These are things that affect sales. And then you must also have brand consistency. Not today, your logo is pink. Tomorrow it is green. Shouldn't be tired. There is only one brand that has not marketed anything. St. Louis Sugar. They are the only exception. Over 70 years, one packet. They are the only example in brand stubbornness. But even at that, recently they have also suffered some hits because new people have come to the market in sugar and are also giving them a run for their money. So I think somehow they are beginning to come out. But you must continue to advertise. That's why you must optimize all your channels of advertisement. And we live in an age that you don't have to pay anything to advertise. All you need is a functional social media handles. So you must grow those social media handles deliberately. So how many followers does your business have, or do you have? How often do you post about your business? We must continue to talk about these things because to move from vision to victory, marketing must be involved. You must talk about your product. You must be confident about the way you market your product. People buy the confidence first before they buy the product. So you tell the person that we are the best bespoke tailoring outfit in Akwa Ibom or in South or in Nigeria. That we do this, we do that, we deliver this. You look for those marketing terms and use them well. Don't market as someone who is not sure of the product that you are selling. If you are not sure, the person will not buy it. Because the person buys your confidence. And it applies to everything you do in life. Whatever you do in life, you must approach it with confidence. Because people are going to buy that strength that you are displaying. Even if it were your church and there are only 2 members. Because the same business principles also applies to ministry. You must be very proud of it. You must be proud of of your ministry. You must share your testimonies, no matter how small they appear. If somebody got a headache, and that was the miracle, you share it as if stage 4 cancer got cured. Do you understand what we're saying? Because people have died of headache than of cancer. And if you are known as, if your ministry is known as headache specialist in healing of headaches, there will be more than 1 million people who are interested, because there are more people with headaches than people with more terminal illnesses. Do you get the point of what I'm trying to say? There are going to be people who will water that down. They say, he told us someone had headache. Is that all the miracle in that church? That is not your target audience. Those ones have not been arrested yet by the Holy Spirit. But there are people, someone has had a migraine for 2 days now, and is looking for somewhere. Someone just testified, I had a migraine for 2 days and I got healed. Another 5 more people are attracted to that testimony. So that testimony that you are not proud of, that sales that you have made in your business that you are not proud of, you are waiting until you have sold out the entire shop before advertising. You have sold to 3 people. Tell them to wear the clothes. If they give you the permission, share the testimony. It is the testimonies and the reviews that you share that encourages people to come to your shop to buy. So to achieve that victory, marketing is key. Marketing is in 2 ways. The ones that you market for yourself and the ones that people market for you. And in the course of marketing, the second one is stronger than the first one. Because the ones that you are saying, people know, after all, it's your business. What else would you say other than say good things about it? But the ones that people are saying of your businesses, people will believe it more. But do you know the truth? You can also plant your own review, not by telling lies, but by encouraging other people to talk about it. So you must be deliberate. In marketing, nothing happens as a mistake. You must be deliberate about encouraging people to talk about that business, even if it means paying them. So somebody had enjoyed your service. If you have a review or a Google review, you tell the person to type in their experience there. It happens mostly in the hospitality industry. If you are going to another town and you are trying to book a hotel, you are going to likely go through the reviews to see people who slept in that hotel, what was their review. Once you read there was bed bugs. Even if it was 3 years ago, you are not likely to go to that place. And these days, they don't call people in that town, look for hotel for me. You don't go around disturbing people. You just Google into that place, hotel near Ikeja, and options come out of it. And you begin to check the pictures. You look at the reviews. Oh, I slept here for 3 nights, and it was a wonderful experience. Oh, the food was wonderful, and the this was that. So the first 20 reviews are outstanding. They didn't just happen. It was the hotel owners who were deliberate about encouraging. People are likely to complain about things when they are bad. If a customer is angry, the first impulse is to look for a way to deal with you. And the way to deal with you is to go to whatsoever platform and say, I slept in this hotel. This is the most terrible place any human being can ever sleep. One opinion from an isolated incident. Maybe just one staff annoyed the person, or somebody didn't cook the meat well, or something just went wrong on that day, different from the other 364 days of the year, can drive away customers. So review, customer review is very necessary in business. When the customers give the review, publish them yourself. Help them to say good things about your business. And you would see that all that will be able to go well. So we are still looking at how one can be able to maximize their business into selling well, doing well, and achieving a victory. Do not forget our earlier points. We had said that you should have a business plan. We had talked about market research, understanding who you are selling to and how to sell to them. Your business should also have a business plan, especially for those who are starting, and even for those who already have businesses. If you have reached a point that you have started business for 2 years and you know that business has not kicked off. You know, it's possible to do business for 3 years and the business has not taken off from the ground. You can relaunch the business. There is no crime in relaunching your business. So you say that it is our 3rd anniversary. And in that fresh start is an opportunity for you to correct some mistakes that, because you have now learned some knowledge. So you can change the brand color. You can even change the brand name. You can change the location. You can use that opportunity to rebrand the shop. So if you have had business, because if you put fuel inside a vehicle that the engine is bad, the vehicle is still not going to go anywhere. So you need to change the engine and relaunch it. You can now spray the body and relaunch it into the market. So whatever business you had done and you had noticed that the thing, you had made too many beginning mistakes, you can pause and rebrand that business and relaunch it. And because we are mixing so many points at the same time, another important thing that you should note in business is that you are either selling to the top class, that is premium customers, people who can buy for big amounts, or you are selling to general market. It's not the same sales strategy that works. It's not the same strategy that works. So you cannot be dancing in the market and ringing bell for premium customers. Your advertising strategy will be different. You can't do shameless advert to attract premium customers. You are looking for a different market. What's the point I'm trying to make? You can't sell one business. There's what they call multi-brand market strategy. So if you are selling expensive bags, don't bring cheap bags into that shop. The moment you bring a cheap bag into that shop, you spoil the brand of that business. If you are selling good suits, don't bring anyhow suit into that shop. Because that brand is associated with a particular quality of business. This is what, targeting a different market, they give it a different name. 3 Crowns is milk. Peak is milk. Do you know they are owned by the same company? That company owns over 7 milk brands, targeting different companies. So you are like, I can never take Peak. Always costly. Let them go their way. It's the same person. It's the same person that owns 3 Crowns, because the person knows you want something else that may be cheaper, that has a different thing. So you always stick here. So even if they bring Peak down, cheaper than this 3 Crowns, you are like, go. I am not interested. Once you see it, it's called multi-brand strategy. You can apply it to your own business, especially when you are opening a new branch. So you don't need the same name of that brand again. If you already had done well, this one was on Ikorekbene Road with this name. If you are opening this one for smaller markets, there's no need bringing this one that is known for high and then mixing it up. People will be like, let those Ikorekbene people go. I don't have their time. They don't know you are the same person operating from there. It's like fast food. Some in a cozy environment, some is mama put. It can be the same person who owns them. People who are looking for environment more will go to the other side. People who are looking for food, wherever it is served, let it be food, will come this way. So you cannot service the same quality of people at the same time. This helps us with our product packaging and exhibiting all that we have. Another place that people have problems moving from ideas to business explosion is in funding. Funding your business. You need funding. After all the prayers at Gathering of Stars and the wonderful ideas, you still need that you have put so far for the business. So sometimes you don't have to be in a hurry to start. You can start that business in June and plan well. You can start buying, especially if the products are not perishable, and stock them. You can start gathering money to begin the business in May properly, rather than starting it ending of February in a shabby way, and you launch out well, you can save up personal finances to start that business and start at that small level. It is called bootstrapping. It is a source of funding, using personal savings and revenue to start that business. We also have the ones we call angel investors. People who invest in the early startups of your business. That's the ones we come to church to pray for. For God to send a destiny helper to help that business. The person may not be funding you to start business, may be appreciating you for something else. It may be a favor from another source. It may be an opening from another source that helps you to package it and start that business. It happens that people have that kind of luck. You should pray for it. You should position yourself for it. And there is also venture capital. Many of these ones you may not have in Nigeria because in Nigeria, now you die, now you pour yourself water. There are companies who are bigger companies that look out for small companies that are doing something similar to what they are doing to invest in them. It is a way of capturing them young, because if those ones grow up, they are coming for them. That's why when you see foreign countries give aids to smaller countries, it's not really for the benefit of the small countries. It is more for the benefit of the big countries. Because when they need votes in the United Nations, they will remind you that we are doing something in your area. And part of the condition is that we may stop that thing that we are doing for you to vote on this thing. That's how world politics works. It's a form of capital. So you can also yourself go and propose to a bigger startup venture that if they support here, this is what you can offer them at raw material level, and say, sir, there is no need for you to stress yourself to be doing this. Our company can handle this aspect of your production for you. So you must be bold. That's why we are proposal to a big company and tell them you are into construction, but sir, we can supply the sand. There's no need for you going to the borrow pit. We can be in charge of the gravel and the sand and the many things. And there are different sectors. Most times the people who make the most money do it through supplies. It's not easy to do retail and make big money, or we must be very truthful. It's not easy to gather money from retail business. That is selling akara 10 naira until it becomes 1 million. It is not easy. You will need to sell it to so many people and sell it for a very long time to make 5 million from akara inside a tray, or sachet water inside a pail. But you can make it in 2 weeks if you were supplying it to a hotel. So let's assume you go to a hotel and take up the supply of water there and take up the supply of eggs. You don't need to be the owner of the poultry farm. You just need to be a smart middleman. It is supplies that make people rich in hundreds and millions without owning a particular thing. Some call it affiliate marketing. Some call it agency, whatever name you intend to call it. Being a middleman to something bigger. Becoming a marketer for a bigger firm. So if you don't have a job, the place you can start to create a job for yourself is to start selling for people who already have what to be sold. So you get that hair, call the owner of the hair and say, can I also help in advertising this hair for you? How much is your price? You sell it at 200,000. Can you offer me at 190? So that if I find a buyer, I take the 10,000. So you open up on your Facebook page that you now sell hair. You don't own that hair. It is another company that owns the hair. But you create a market and people come to you, pay for the hair, and you just collect hair from here and sell. Without putting 1 naira, you have made 10,000. And you know the spirit of money, the day you have made the first sales, that spirit will come upon you. You will make 10. So you don't need to own anything. For anybody who has no job at all, being a middleman is a very good place to begin yourself. That's why many people sell lands and become instant millionaires. People do agency on properties and make 5 million from it. One sale. People do agency on several things. In fact, in some of those deals, there are up to 5 agents. What betide you go and rent a house where there are up to 5 agents and the landlord says he's not responsible. So some of us have been in that kind of situation. You didn't know that the agent that met you is not the only agent in the deal. The agent of the agent of the agent of the agent. So you see 5 of them appear on the final day of payment. And the landlord says, I don't know any of these people. My rent is $350. Anyhow, you are going to sort yourself out with these folks. And those folks will not leave you. Somehow, there must be a way out. So that your 100,000 will run through those hands. So you have increased that rent by 100,000 because of agent. But you can also be one of those agents. Because it is not a crime to lead someone to somewhere important. So the basic principle about marketing and life is that once you are able to solve a problem for somebody, you will be able to make money. That's the principle of making money. Look for a problem and solve. Let that problem be a real problem that people are willing to pay money for. And you see that you would be able to make money from that particular sales. So funding your business is very important. There is also crowdfunding. Raising small amounts of money from a large number of people. This one sometimes brings a lot of trouble. But people are still doing it. Crowdfunding to start a business. There is also loans. This one, the spiritual family we belong to don't encourage loans. But you can get money to blow your business. Many of the big businesses we see don't operate on their monies. But you see, for you to be able to be qualified for a facility, there are things that you must satisfy, and bankers will tell you. So for that, your business, why are you not doing your transactions through a business account? Why are you, today they transfer to your GTB, tomorrow they transfer to your First Bank, next tomorrow, you don't have a dedicated account that has credit history. So that when someone looks at that account, he sees that 10 million naira has passed through this account in the last 2 months, and your turnover is good. The person can offer you 200 naira to add and go to the market, knowing that this account has been seeing this kind of money. It may even be interest-free. It may even be a small interest. There are finances, there are people with money looking for people to take it on short term and return it. I can tell you for free. I know of people rooming with 500,000, 1 million, 2 million, looking for reliable people to give it so that they can return it in 2 months. But they will not give it to you out of sentiments. It will be based on your credit history. You should be able to have an account that you are dedicated to, that you are running, so that when someone looks at that account, the person can see the health of your business. By now, I think that for anyone running a business, even if you sell akara, you should have a business name with company, with Kama, with CSC. You should register your business. How many people have business name registration here? Please wave. Business registration. There is no reason for anybody in the universe not to have any business with business name, not to have registration. Even if you work in an establishment, you should have something on the side recorded in your name, so that with that registration you can have a company account. You can have several things in that business name. There are transactions you cannot do on your personal accounts. There are transactions you can only do on a business account. For instance, you say you are a master of ceremony. There are corporations I've done business for, and they rejected private accounts for MC work, because they have to give account. It has to come through a company account with voucher and receipt. Even as at this afternoon, there's a client I worked for last week. We are getting receipts from all the vendors for proper accountability, because they are multinational. They must account to the last amount of money. So everybody, including the person who cooked food, has to give me a voucher in the company name, not Mrs. Okon. Something Ventures, not Mark Babio. No, except Mark Babio is the business name. So you say, my own is just to cook food. Oh. Cook food with a business name. Cook food with registration. Sometimes it's not more than 40,000. It's not more than 50,000. And with that, you can do several things with it. How many people have limited liability company registration? And the number is going to get smaller. If you have held a business name for 2 years, you are due for an upgrade. Because there are going to be certain levels of contracts and supply you can't do on business name. Once they want to eliminate the competition, they raise the requirements. So why not go get a company registration? Limited liability. And at least prepare. You see, the problem with Peter and the miracle by the sea was that he came there with a small net. That's why the net break. If Peter had an idea of what the Lord was planning for him, Peter would have gone for a bigger net. There's no way that net would have broken. He did not have capacity. So you are praying God for 10 million. 10 million hardly in this age gets into a private account. Where is the person transferring it from? Except it is a dash and it's going to be flagged. 10 million naira moves like that from one account to the other. EFCC is going to have some interest. So where did it move from? Where to where? From it to local government area to somewhere. We have to find out who that gentleman was. But if it moves to something Ventures for supply of electricity, it doesn't matter at the end of the day what kind of electricity you supplied. Whether it was bulb or wire, the transaction was a legit one. So are we getting the picture of what we are painting? Your next miracle, you may be the person who is hindering yourself from it. So we're looking at loans, and that took us to all of that. So prepare yourself so that someone can invest inside of you. And then you must demonstrate traction and show clear path of profitability. And then we'll end, because our time is up, on all the other marketing strategies you need to use. You must use people who can influence your market. You have friends. All of us have friends who are on WhatsApp. Don't we have? When last did you tell your friend to share your stuff on Facebook, on their status? And you too, do you share your friend's business? It gets to a wider market. So you must be deliberate. And there are people who are not on Facebook at all. If I was a Gary dealer in Akpanande market, I wouldn't only sell for people who come to the market. When there is a market now, do you know the number of Nigerians in the UK and US looking for homemade food on a daily basis? Go to the airport and see the volume of fish and crayfish and local food stuff that are being sent out of this country on a daily basis from our markets, dried, packaged, and sent abroad. You can't continue to sell for people per cup when you can be earning even in dollars. And how will they know that you exist if you are not on Facebook? You think they are going to come to your village in a DNA corner to find out? No. You are going to position yourself on Facebook with that same basin of Gary and say that I sell this thing in the market. It gives you a wider audience. Someone is going to stay in Canada and call you and say, since you are in the market, can you package 400,000 naira worth of goods, seafoods, and this? They even buy up to noodles to take out of this country. Because, abroad, if their noodles is not like the one we take here. Especially if you've lived here for a very long time. Of course, many people have lived here before they moved. So they want something that has local flavor. All manner of local spices, pepper, all manner of things. People package them. People buy things that will take them for 1 year. So they send 600,000. So how many cups of Gary are you going to scoop that will give you 600,000 instantly one person can give you that. If you position yourself, you can have up to 10 people in a month. 600 times 10 is how much? 600,000 times 10 is how much? Is that not 6 million naira? It's a case of market positioning. And if you're a deliberate person, you now write it on that Facebook. I am a market dealer. I do import and export. We supply globally. And anytime you do the supply, you snap the packaging, you tell the country it was meant to, you snap the courier company, and even show even the client receiving the package, and you advertise it again. That one advert can get you 20 more people from the abroad. It's simple marketing, positioning. So your neighbor in the same market can be making 6 million. You are still struggling to sell oil and sell pepper and sell it at that same retail mentality. Are we getting the point as we are talking? So we all intend to grow our businesses this year. And I think that everybody should have a business somewhere. This economy does not support one stream of income. It does not. Like currently, I know in the civil service, they are doing verification. January salaries are delayed. There is trouble in the land for people who are depending on that salary alone because of verification. God knows whether they will finish before the end of February. Nobody is the cause. It's just human situation. But imagine if you don't have any other thing. And of course, you know salary finishes 3 days after you have collected it. So January salary had since finished on the 3rd of January. Oh, okay, that one even came in December itself. So it is worse. It finished on 27th December. These guys are in February now. January has not come. Is that not a suicide mission? So you cannot depend on that kind of source. But if you open the civil service portal now, over 100,000 people will apply. And say, if only I have government work. I'm saying it's good to have government work. But it's also good to have something to support this work. So that you don't get frustrated. Because in your home now, DSC will expire. Everything will finish at the same time at this month end. It will look as if the devil is attacking you. No. It is a matter of planning. So our great brothers and sisters, this year our businesses will succeed. This year our businesses will thrive. Have the right mindset for making money this year. Have the right spirit and continue to learn the simple tricks and the magic and the skills that are necessary to grow your business. All of us will succeed this year in the mighty name of Jesus.
Can you give God a clap of praise? Mr. Fimpa, please, you're going to hold on. Mother just approved that we'll ask questions. 3 questions. Please, you have a question related to what have been taught. You should have a question actually. Please indicate by lifting your hands. Officers will get to where you are. You ask the question straight to the point, and some more light will be shared. Any question? It seems there's no. Any question, please? Any hand lifted anywhere? All right, let's begin with him. And then number 2. Where's number 3? Number 3. We take just those 3. Go ahead.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Please, going straight to affiliate marketing. I want to know the risk behind using another person to run your business, to stand in for you while you focus on the ministry. For instance, I have an affiliate run supplies vehicles to oil companies. They don't know me. It's not my vehicles. All I do is I get it from you. I put my own on top. I send it across to wherever it's going. And then we want to upgrade it, put it online, or market it. And then probably people want to know who is the owner and who is this. And people have already known you for who you are. And then trying to function in this aspect. What's the risk of saying, okay, someone else should be the first running in this other aspect of it while you focus on the ministry?
Very good question. Let's take the next one so that we can take the answers together.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kisa Tabang. So I'm the founder of Starrig. So Starrig is the career tech platform that connects dispatch riders and customers. So we launched our operations last
I
month.
can't hear you, sir.
Just go straight to your question. What's the question?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so I'm saying that I'm the founder of Starrig. So
Go
Starrig
straight to
is
your
a startup.
question. Come on.
Excellent. Just go ahead. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so in the course of funding, you were talking about funding. So in the course of funding, we've met persons like these angel investors we are talking about. I don't call them angel investors actually. So and they are demanding the requirements are very, very high. For instance, we met someone who said he was going to give us 1 million naira. So he said inside this 1 million naira, so he was going to give us that is two openings. One either by loan. Then if it is by loan, 50% interest. And then if it is by investment, that it can give us more than the starting capital shares of our business. So he's going to give us 1 million naira, and he will own 20% of the company. And we will give him one key role in the company, much more like the chief financial officer, head of operations, and he will be the one to be employing the person. So
all inside this 1 million.
Yes, sir. Inside this thing, and it was a serious one actually. So, sir, in such situations, what would be your opinion, sir?
I am hoping that was a Nollywood production, but we'll answer it.
Last question, so we'll take it together.
Yeah.
Please get the mic here.
Students have not asked questions. For those who are in school, school is also not a reason not to have a business. In fact, truthfully, in Nigeria, the things that you are going to do after graduation are likely to be the things that you have already started doing, because there are no jobs anywhere. Are there any students in the house? Just wave, wave, wave. Those are my people. You have to start business in your line of interest and passion and profession. You have to start business. It doesn't distract you. I know you will talk about distractions. Some of you are already, all you need is to kill the distractions that are distracting you and focus on important things. You don't read 24 hours of the day. Okay, the last question.
All right, please, I want to get a clarity from you because you said if like multi-brand strategy.
Yes.
I know that as a business, you need to provide options for your customers, not necessarily just the low ticket and the high ticket flyers. And I know of running the same kind of ticket for different buyers, but same business. But when you mentioned that you have to change the business name, I really need to get a clarity. Okay. I want to use two examples. You are running a school, and you have one of them in the middle of town where you have the premium, and then you decide to establish at one end of town where you have, I run a multi-campus school, same name but different locations. So when you said you have to change the name, now I also want to take it to coaching. If you are a coach and you run programs online, you could do the low ticket and the high ticket, but same product, but different content, but same name that you give to you. For example, Launch Smart, and you have the high ticket, you have the low ticket. But when you mentioned that you need to change the name, I really needed a little more of clarity.
Very good question. What you are running is very risky. You see, as your business progresses, people buy the name. And not necessarily what you are offering. It's the name. In fact, what you are really going to enjoy after a while is the name. You don't even need to do anything. They just buy the name. In fact, there are certain places they buy from. If you don't give them the bag for them to show. There are people who traveled last 2 years ago. They are still strolling with the Bum Air, this thing around to show people they traveled. It's not about the traveling, it's about the brand. Do you understand? So after a while, if you don't elevate that brand, you are going to have a little brand crisis. Or you will not enjoy what you are. Because parents don't just send their pupils to school. They tell them, look, my child is in King's so and so. So it's not about what they are teaching in biology, chemistry, or physics. It's about the name of the school. And in Uyo, there are some schools you can mention names. And one of them is Full Life Schools. Because that is where I belong. So someone is proud to say, look, my child is at Full Life Schools. If Full Life School is running one at Ibiono, that is not very good. There is a problem. Because there are people who would only know the Ibiono version. Do you get the problem now? And they can advertise that bad version and it affects your premium version. And they are wearing the same uniform. So someone says, I'm posing now at Full Life School. He didn't mention which one. Whether it was the one on Airport Road or on 2-lane. Is Full Life School not Full Life School? So I'm trying to tell you the small, long-term effect. It may not be immediate. Of course, it's good to give different packages, but this idea I'm giving you is a little advanced. Yes, he said it can be the same company. You don't need the same name. You just give the one in the outskirts a different name. Like Covenant and Landmark University, owned by the same institution. Different school fees, different packaging, different target of students. So that one does not put sand inside this other Gary. I understand, but different, the idea that you have different packages for different people is a brilliant idea. But I'm looking at the next 5 years. Those ones still bearing the same name as these other ones. It may have a long-term effect. I'm just thinking you should think in that particular direction. It's some of the things that we have found out people are doing currently in business. And to our friend with that investor, that's not an angelic investor. That is a cobra investor. And we have been dealing with a lot of serpents and serpentine factors at this conference. Please do not get into any agreement that is capable of strangulating your business. No matter the desperation. It would have been better that business did not start than you will regret it in the next 3 years. Because you may spend all the interest of the business in servicing a Shylock loan company. It's like getting into the hands of online loan companies. 50% sounds like what they do. The small 30,000 you got from them, and they said you were going to pay back 45,000, which is already high. Every day you default 2,000. So by 1 month, you feel like committing suicide. 30,000 has moved to 80,000. And they are busy calling everybody on your contact list, messaging people. So you have had 30,000 you have paid now to them. The loan interest increases again. So please, I know that funding is difficult, but don't walk deliberately into a troublesome path. It can be very, very dangerous. And then a friend talked about affiliate marketing. I like to look at things from the positive side, sir. That you have a reputation that is good for your business. And before you stake that reputation, you have to also be very careful. Especially if you hold, if you are a person of a ministry or someone who has respect for your name. For instance, for myself, before I will attach my name to something, which means a lot, I will be a little very careful. You will need to have background checks done on the people that are in the course of that business. Background checks, have they done this kind of thing consistently for 3 years? What was the person doing before? Even the driver of that vehicle should have a history. A driver that has worked for 12 people in a space of 6 months is a suspect. He's a suspect. He has never driven one person straight for 2 years. So such a person shouldn't qualify to drive because he doesn't have any track record of consistency because your name is attached to it. And then you can now have stop gap mechanisms. Those people need not be your full-time staff. They can be friends and volunteers like transport companies do. When you are moving from Uyo to Enugu, as they approach Umaya, another person comes out of the bush somewhere to confirm the manifest and confirm things and report back to the head of the company because these drivers are wonderful people. You can be the owner of the bus, but the driver is the real owner. He will drive everything into his pocket. Meanwhile, you are the one that is making repairs in that vehicle. what you are doing is similar to, there's something we used to call watawat, Allah syndrome. The syndrome was that people bought motorcycles and gave to people to be making daily returns. Every time they came back, they say Sangwata what, meaning they have not driven at all that day. They are busy driving that thing and putting inside their pocket. But when it's time to make returns to the owner, that was how that name, in fact, all the cyclists were now called Nwatawat because they were guilty of that particular syndrome. It's a risky, business is a risk, but the risk can be calculative. And you can put checks and balances. And there are certain deals that you have to show up personally and execute, especially when the client is a premium client, to make sure that nothing goes bad. If it is, someone gives you 10 million to do that business transaction, so you have to suspend a few things and show up there and ensure that nothing goes wrong so that such a client can be maintained to keep on going. And because of time and the lack of it, we would end it here and we'll continue some other time to give these tips for business. Thank you very much.
Well, rise to your feet, a shout of praise, and let it to our hands.